So what's up? Thanks for tuning back in to the TeeKashShow. This is finally my part 2 of the boot camp video. It was supposed to come out some time ago, but you know I work full time, and I kind of really just wanted the video to hit 1,000 views before I made the part 2, which it did earlier today. And so I already have some topics jotted down. I was sitting at work and it was just like, what do I talk about in this next video? Because I knew it was some things that I didn't elaborate on and that I wanted to in the last video. But I just, for the sake of not making the video too long, because it was already 31 minutes, I'm going to for sure cover I'm going to cover and or elaborate on a few things and even bring up some new things. So let's just get right the fuck into it. So, one thing that I know I picked up once riding with a recruiter, it wasn't necessarily my recruiter, it was another recruiter from my office. I've heard them tell people before, and I'm sure it's common with recruiters, I've heard them tell people who were in the debt program, you know, if you quit debt, you can go to jail, or you can't quit debt. Like, you can go to jail if you don't ship. And it's like, no, you can't. No, you can't. And if you ask me, if you have to keep answering questions when you're, you know, preparing to go to MEPS and all of that, and when you're doing your paperwork initially with your recruiter, and you're doing like the 153 questions or whatever number it was, 100 and whatever, if you have to keep on altering stuff or changing your answers or lying and not saying what the truth of it really is, it's not for you. Don't force your way into this. You get what I'm saying? And that's where a lot of people mess up at, because at that station, they're not going to tell you what to put. And they're not going to advise you what to put, but they'll talk in circles and you know what they're saying. But do not alter your answers and stuff. If you have some disqualifying answers, then obviously it's not for you. Don't force your way into it. Don't. I just thought you shouldn't force your way into anything, especially something like this. You know, I went to MEPS 5 times. 5 times. I went to MEPS 5 freaking times. I should have threw in a towel after the 3rd try. After the 3rd time of me going to MEPS and I did not get sworn in, I should have threw in the towel. That was God telling me that it wasn't for me. I went up there 5 times. I didn't get sworn in until my 5th time going to MEPS. My recruiter was really persistent with trying to get me in, because he was even getting pissed to the point to where I kept going up there. And he was pretty much just like, hey, I'm not fucking leaving from up here at MEPS until y'all swear him in, because we keep coming up here, he keep on missing school, and he's not getting sworn in. I feel like in boot camp, the part to where I was kind of like, oh yeah, I kind of checked out was when I would never forget when the RDC told us, you know, look at y'all uniforms. And, you know, one side of the uniform says U.S. Navy and the other side says your last name. He told us to look at our uniforms, and he was like, point to that. And he was like, what that say? And he was like, and then you say your last name, because you would point to your last name side. He's like, all right, now point to the other side. So we pointed to the other side. He's like, what that say? And we was like, U.S. Navy. And he was like, okay, that other side, that don't matter. We don't give a fuck about what your last name is. Here, your property of the U.S. Navy. That U.S. Navy side is all that matters. That last name don't matter. And to me, that kind of checked me out, because I'm not nobody's fucking property. You're not going to tell me I'm property of the U.S. Navy. I'm not property or shit. What property? I'm some motherfucking type of goddamn appliance you can buy.
Right. The fuck?
Another thing that I wanted to cover was the GI Bill for college. It isn't as simple as it's put. How people like, the recruiters say, oh, if you join the military, you can go to school and you could pass it on to your spouse or to your mother. Okay, do you see them waves? Do you see them waves? You can pass it on to your spouse, or you can give it to a kid. That whoop-de-whoop-de-woo, all that bullshit. Not make sure you ask questions. It's always a catch. And the catch with that was that you have to have 10 years of service to pass it on to your spouse or to your child. You have to serve 10 years to pass that on to your spouse or to your child. So, what the fuck? Why would y'all lie? Another thing, I hope y'all don't mind me reading off a paper. Like, these are literally genuinely my thoughts that, you saying, off of my notes that I screenshotted. I was literally jotting down everything so I could make sure I didn't miss anything. For instance, stationing. How you know how the recruiters paint the picture like, oh, you know, you can live where you want to live. You can get stationed here. You can get stationed there. You can get stationed in California. You can get stationed there. You can get stationed in those places. They say you could choose where you want to go. Bullshit.
You're not picking where you want to get stationed at specifically.
But what you do is, when you go to basic training, they basically tell you that you have the options of coast. So, with that being said, you pick a coast that you want to go to. You can either pick the East Coast, the West Coast, or overseas. Those are your three choices. You don't narrow it down like, oh, I want to go to Miami. I want to be stationed in Miami. Or I want to be stationed in New Orleans. Or I want to be stationed in New York. You pick a coast, and then they're going to put you where you're most needed at. That's not what I was told going into it. I was told that you pick where you want to go. So I could potentially pick West Coast, hoping I get California, and they fucking put me in goddamn Washington. Or I could put East Coast, hoping that I got fucking Florida, I guess, or some shit like that, and I get Great Lakes. Shit like that. You're gonna pick a coast. When you get to basic training, the showering arrangements is just like, ugh. Like, you only shower once a day.
He smelled so fucking foul. I made my RDCs change my rack.
And it's pretty much whenever your RDCs make time for it. So, it's like an open shower. When you get out of P days, it's an open shower. Like, in P days, y'all have these showers that have curtains to them. Like, you step into it, with the two walls with a curtain that you swing. When you leave the that first ship, when you're getting processed at, when you go to your house, your actual shit, it's not like that. You have poles with shower rings around it, like shower heads around it on a circle, and it just shoots out like jet stream, and it's like y'all all just standing next to each other, showering next to each other. It was kind of just like, it took some adjustment to get used to be sitting here taking a shower with like 8 other boys at one time, and we just like, it's no type of curtains or nothing. We just all standing here next to each other. It was weird at first to me, but you get used to it. It's like nothing when you're doing it for fucking 2 months. It might have been like 6 people. Not 8. It might have been 6. It's like 6 to a pole. The sleeping schedule. Some nights you might hardly get any sleep because you would have watch. You have roving watch. You have night watch. Roving is when you walk around a compartment for 2 hours. You pretty much making sure everyone is in bed. And they'll have you study material for upcoming exams. So when you're roving, you have your training guide in your hand, and you're pretty much just reading the material and studying it since you're up. And actually study it, because that will help you get farther. Like, you'll be like, fuck, I'm tired of reading the same shit. But in the long run, you want to keep studying it, because in the long run, it'll help your division get flags. And you want your division to get flags. Like, it gets really competitive between the divisions. Like, you want to beat your brother is, or your sister is, with the flags. Because just like, it's academic flags, it's fitness flags, it's just all kind of fucking flags. It's flags for like having passing all your inspections. It's marching flags. It's the the SAMT live fire flags. It's all kind of flags, and it's really, really fun, because when y'all doing cadence, y'all are walking and y'all are doing cadences or whatever. As you're walking into other divisions, and y'all are like sounding off, doing the cadences, you want to be louder in the other division. You want to have more flags than the other division, because it's like, damn, that division on they shit pretty much. And then, along with roving watch, you have night watch. But night watch is when you literally stand still. You stand still in one spot for 2 hours, and you read that book for 2 hours in that same fucking spot. This is where you really, 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 really need to make sure you know your 11 general orders, your rank of recognition. You want to know all that shit. Your ranks of recognition, especially because when you're on watch, or when you have like RDCs coming to your compartment from other divisions, they're gonna like test you and be like, okay, who's the whoop-de-whoop-de-woo? Who's the captain of blah, 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 and blah, they speak. And if you get it wrong, they will drop your ass and make you work out because you don't know it. So make sure you study it inside and out before you ship. You want to know it before you go. Look up your 11 general orders, your chain of command, and your ranks and recognition of recruit training command. It's how you stand in guard basically. So, but say for instance your division has to wake up at 0600 and you have watch from 0400 to 0600. You now have just been up like 2 hours earlier than everybody else, if you get what I'm saying. And that's just for you to start today. Just a small little story time I had put on here. One night, my RPOC, my APO, which is an athletic petty officer, and a couple of the section leaders were fucking deciding they wanted to do backwards flips off of the motherfucking tables. Me and my homeboys was in the bathroom writing letters home. So we was in the bathroom sitting on the bench, this little shower bench, writing our letters to our families. And they out there doing backwards flips. Lo and fucking behold, a petty officer who was on the roving watch or whatever for the ship. Basically, the petty officer on deck was roving through the hallways and seen them through the fucking hatch, flipping off of the table. Oh my damn. We heard that fucking hatch open, and me and my boys, we all flew into different bathroom stalls. Like, fuck that. Like, we don't want no parts. The next motherfucking day, they came back. They told us they was coming back. They kept their word. They came back the next day when my RDCs was there, and they beat the fuck out of us. They gave us a divisional workout for like 30 minutes, and he told us he wasn't gonna stop until it was a puddle of either sweat or a puddle of throw up under each recruit in the room. So he told us he was not gonna stop beating our ass until it was at least a puddle of sweat or a pile of throw up under each recruit. Remind you, the majority of us ain't even had shit to do with it, because the majority of people was in the bed asleep. Me and my boys was in the bathroom writing letters, and here come these fucking jackasses who supposed to be fucking leaders of our division, fucking doing backwards flips off of the fucking table and shit. What kind of fucking leaders are these motherfuckers? Stop playing with me. We're gonna move on. Well, I tell you, the thing I did, I had everybody in training wearing do-rags. I had everybody buying Murray's in a medium bore brush, and I was teaching their ass how to get waves. Like, because in Detroit, us Detroit dudes do not play about waves. Like, I don't know if you can see, but you know, kind of the waves gonna swim, so they hate on him, trying to get you a little seasick, you know.
I got some little work to do, but my shit's swimming already.
But it's the week of going to the dentist and boot camp. If you have your wisdom teeth in, or if your wisdom teeth are coming in, get ready, because they're pulling them hoes out. They're gonna pull them out in Red Rover. And then you're gonna be SIQ, which is second quarters for 2 days. You're gonna have to eat soft bag chows, which is like yogurt, I think a Nutri-Grain bar, a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So remember in the last video I mentioned the shots. Once everybody got the shots and took those pills, when I tell you everybody got sick, everybody got really, really sick. Like, they had like a whooping cough and their lymph nodes were really sore. It lasted through all of like boot camp, like all throughout boot camp. They never stopped being sick. But guess what? I never got sick. I never got sick until I got to SEPS. But guess what? I never took those pills either. So once you go home, they actually send you in the mail a copy of your medical record from the base. They either send it to you via a CD, I think a thumb drive, or by paper. So I got mine on paper. And so I checked up on it in appeals. And it was pretty much supposed to prevent you from being able to catch like respiratory infections. And so what those pills did was it induced symptoms of a respiratory infection to the recruits. And that's what it was. Since I didn't take that, that's why I never had the coughing problem, because I didn't take the pill. Remember, I also said I had food poisoning. And I know for a fact that I have food poisoning. And I'm not just saying that, but they actually sent me to the hospital off base because of my food poisoning. Like, I can't think of what the name of what the little veteran hospital is, but it's right around the corner from the base. But they took me off base in a duty van, and I had food poisoning. It's really to the point to where in boot camp, they really talk to you like you're less than human. Like, luckily, I had it easy because I was the yeoman. And so, really, the yeomans are pretty much like damn near the favorite and like the golden child of boot camp, because you're pretty much like the backbone of boot camp, because it couldn't work. It couldn't flow as easy as it does without a yeoman. So a yeoman is very supplemental to a division. And so that's what I got in trouble some, but not that much. And everybody used to always call me the disrespectful yeoman. Like the other RDCs used to be like, they used to ask my RDCs, like, where that one yeoman at? Where your head yeoman? Where your medical yeoman at? With the nasty ass attitude. Like, it was just one CS, because my rate was a CS. He was a submarine CS. And he used to just fuck with me on purpose. Like, he used to be like, we your one yeoman at, the one who from Detroit. We your one yeoman at, the one who from Detroit. With his nasty ass bougie attitude. I didn't really say shit to him. Like, he was so mad at me because I didn't speak to him. I walked past him in the hallway and I didn't speak to him. Like, boy, fuck you. You didn't speak to me, I didn't speak to you. Fuck you talking about? Next. But I had it easy because I was a young man, like I said, and I was really close to one of the RDCs. Like, he always saved my ass. He always saved my ass from the other RDCs and the cheats. I loved his ass, man. I did, for sure. And he told me not to go home. But it's just kind of like, my hands was tied. I was like a lose-lose situation, if you ask me. I really, really, really strongly suggest that you do see for yourself. This is so important. This is very key and it's vital. My videos are not to deter anyone from joining the military by any means. It is strictly to let you know about my experience and what I went through when I was there. It's not to make you not go. It's not to stop you. But to be 110% honest, I do recommend that you seek out and listening to the Air Force before the Navy. Definitely talk to the Air Force first, because the Air Force has it easy. Their training is a lot easier. They're a lot more updated and they're a lot more faster. The Navy does everything on paper. So everything takes a very long time.
And a lot of shit be misplaced.
They are so in the old days. Moving right along. And you know, really, I feel like I messed up by thinking I was taking the easy way out. It's boot camp and just the whole experience of being in depth, all those months that I was waiting to ship out to go to active and all that. It's like, the whole thing really made me realize that money cannot buy you happiness. Like, money can't buy you happiness. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. And I swore that it could before I started getting money. Like, when I didn't have money for real and I was in high school working like a little part-time job. I worked at Boston Market. I was a bag boy at Kroger's. I worked at Long John Silver's. I've had many, many jobs. It's not shit you can name I ain't did. KFC, Subway, the list goes on and on. I done did it all. Nursing homes, I done did it all. And it's like, but none was like the abundance of like a full-time job, like really a big adult check. It was like part-time pay. When I started making money for real with the Navy it was kind of like, even with me being an E3 and making the money that I was making, it still wasn't enough to me. It just made me really realize that money cannot buy happiness. You know what you need for your happiness, and money can't fill that void. I felt like. When I came back home, I was just like the happiest camper. Like, I couldn't have been happier. I really thought that's some knowledge that helped me prepare the transition from high school, though. I really do feel like me going into the Navy was like a great like little transition from high school to the real world, because prior to going in, I was a lot more hot-headed. I was a lot more reckless with my words, so to speak. Like, I didn't really have a filter. I still don't really have a filter now, but it was words. Like, now I work in corporate, and you necessarily can't say whatever you want to say, even though I still kind of do, because I'm not really disrespectful. It's a way to say things, and that's what I learned being there. Like, it's a time and place for everything, and it's not what you say, but how you say it. And I really use that and utilize that in my real life. So that's something I could say that I gained from the Navy. Patience. Patience made me, patience is virtue. Because the Navy is very much so, everything is hurry up and wait. Like, hurry up, we're going to rush you and do this, but we're going to make you reap the benefits on our own accord slowly. But if you really want to go, definitely go by all means. And do not let anyone discourage you, but definitely have your research done. Talk to people who have lived it, and don't believe everything you read online, because, be for real, the government can alter things. Another thing that I didn't like about the Navy was underway. I didn't know what going underway was when I was in depth. It wasn't really spoke about. Nobody really spoke on it. Like, I really can't remember my recruiter really mentioning going underway. And if he did, he didn't tell me it was as frequent as it is. I only knew about deployments. I had no clue. So going underway happens all the time. It happens a lot more often than deployments, actually. And I thought it was deployments that only happen only so often, but it's not true. You can actually be attached to a certain ship that deploys more frequently than others. Like, sometimes you can go on hella deployments, man, and I ain't fucking with it, because you can go on deployments for about a month at a time. You keep on fucking losing connection. Like, I'm not on fucking deployment. I didn't sign up for this shit. I signed up thinking I was gonna go on a deployment like once a year. Not no fucking 2, 3, 4 fucking underways a year. Then the fucking deployment behind that. It's like, no, fuck that. Fuck all that. Hell no. So you can be out. You could be out away at sea, either being underway or on deployment. Hence the reason my last video, I kept stressing to you to make sure that you're okay, to be prepared to be away from your family. A lot. I can't stress enough to study your chain of command, your 11 general orders. Practice hospital corners on your beds, please, because people don't really take it as serious as you should. Practice hospital corners. It could make or break you and inside of your inspections. Practice hospital corners. Study that chain of command, 11 general orders, work out on the regular. Like, something I swear I wish I did prior to leaving was like looking at the PFA standards and getting to those before I got there. Even though I did get there once I was there, it would have been easier going in, because some people there will be up to standards and they beasting out and passing their PFA on the very first try. But then you got people like me who didn't fucking make it to the third try, which was our last test. If you were in any type of band or musical, or if you have any musical experience, make sure you let it be known. They will ask. This will get you placed into a 900 division. You'll thank me later, but do it. If you did band or you know how to play instruments, for sure, go to the 900 division. Try to take as least stuff as possible, because they make you pay to ship your stuff back home. The more stuff that you have to ship home, the higher your shipping will be. Which they pull out of your first check, along with everything they issuing you on the first night for your ditty bag issue. All of this, I believe, was approximately like $450 out of my first check. I'm sorry, I keep on looking over here. I'm really reading this because I don't remember what I wrote down. I'm gonna make sure I get everything for y'all. Once you're out of boot camp, and if you're in A school, they make you pay for your meal plan for their nasty ass food in that damn galley. Like, that food nasty as fuck. You got me paying for this shit when I don't even fucking want this shit. Fuck you and your galley. And your meal plan. Fuck. This is feedback per my god sister who is active duty right now. And she was paying for, she still is paying for her galley food, I believe. And she doesn't really want to, but she don't really have a choice, so she's doing it. Also, not only are you paying for that meal plan, but you also paying for your TRICARE too. Like, right along with your GI Bill. That's free college you entering with the recruiter, right? Wrong. You pay $100 every month for a year to be eligible. So, we'll still be paying for college overall, I guess, but still, let's be entirely truthful, recruiters. That's pretty much all I have for you for this video. Like, those are the things I did want to circle back around and comment. I can't think of anything else. That's pretty much, I just told it all between these two videos. I tried to press to y'all how important it is that you do your research before you enter. If you are going to enter, I wish you the best of luck. You stay strong. It's really what you make it. Keep your mind up strong, stay focused, and keep tunnel vision. Like, don't lose sight of what you're joining for. But at the same time, if you get there and you feel like you want to go home because it's not for you, you know what's best for you. You know if it's for you and you know if it's not for you. Listen, don't be afraid to go home because you've been talking about going to the Navy, or you've been posting it, or you've been hyping it on up, and now you feel like if you go home, people are going to ask you why you going home. You're going to have all these questions to answer. Fuck all of that. Listen, fuck that. You can go home. You don't have to answer nobody's questions if you don't have to. Fuck all of that. You answer questions you want to, when you get ready to answer questions, or don't answer them at all. If you want to go home, that's your business. But you will know if it's for you or not. But if it's not for you, do not force yourself to stay. Don't make yourself miserable. Don't stick through with some shit that's gonna have you in there for years and you know it's not for you. Don't do nothing. Do not do anything that you know it's not going to make you happy in the long run. It's just not worth it to me, because at the end of the day, I will not be considered somebody's fucking property for a country that don't even really fucking respect me and my brothers. And that's just keeping it real. And that's all I have for you. Thanks for tuning in to the TeeKashShow, and subscribe to my channel. Please, please, please comment below. Leave feedback.
So I can answer any questions.
You may still have an answer, and I will definitely respond. I love the feedback, negative, positive. I like it all. And thumbs up. Thank you.